What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Live to Make podcast. Essentially, this is a place where we can kind of showcase different creative people that are passionate about their craft and, are doing things in the industry. A lot of people that basically are honed in on what they're doing and they're kind of working at it every day. They live and breathe this sort of stuff. And, I think like Jamie and I are super passionate about what we do. I do graphic design and visual arts and things like that. Jamie's an awesome cinematographer and director of photography, and we all kind of wear a little bit of like different hats in the creative realm. So this podcast is essentially made to like showcase these different artists and kind of just dig into what they're doing day to day and kind of see if we can gather some inspiration, learn more about their topics and just kind of their day to day, and kind of just explore and use this as a place to kind of have fun and collaborate and just look at new ideas. So today we've got Danny Dufford here, who's an awesome concept artist and illustrator. Actually met him through Jamie. And you're from Ohio, correct?
Correct.
Okay. What part of Ohio?
From Columbus, moved to Cincinnati a while ago. And then, that's where I heard of Jamie.
And you've been living here now like a couple months, right?
Yeah, I think going on 4 months now.
4 months. So what brought you out here in the first place?
My girlfriend got a job. Yeah, so just came home one day. She was like, "Hey, we're moving to San Diego." I was like, "Oh, okay." And
you're like, "All right, I guess I'll just kind of like hop on board with that."
Right. Yeah, I'll start packing.
And you brought your rabbits with you, right? I know you have rabbits.
Yeah, 2 bunnies.
That's so random.
Yeah, they did not like the drive very much.
Just hopping around the cage as you're driving?
Yeah, mostly sleeping, but in a small cage. We had to sneak them into like a fancy Vegas hotel.
Nice.
Did I tell you guys about that?
No.
That's pretty good.
I didn't know you stopped.
Yeah, we stopped
in Vegas.
Vegas. Yeah, Haley's grandmother came through clutch with a timeshare that was off the strip. So,
nice.
Yeah, we just took the bunnies, threw them in a duffel bag, and brought them up, and then like put every towel and sheet that was in the hotel room, we put it down on the floor, and like on the baseboards and stuff, so they couldn't chew anything. And
there's actually a photo or illustration that you made about that move.
Yes,
if I'm not mistaken.
That was our announcement.
Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. It's pretty awesome. Yeah. So Danny, what would you say like your style is? I would like to hear like how you would describe it, because like I feel like
that's actually an interesting question, because I don't really get. Obviously I have influences, but
like it feels very like fun and like whimsical, but also like sort of, to me at least, like Pixar, Disney-ish.
Right.
But like you have like you can obviously tell it's like your own style on top of it.
Yeah. There's definitely a way that I kind of interpret things.
Yeah.
But if I had to describe like how I approached each piece, it would be like a rendered graphic style. I think that's because I try to like keep some like graphic shapes and stuff.
Yeah, so like this piece right here that you did of like you and Haley and your rabbits like on the beach. That's so awesome. Like it's it almost looks like Sunset Cliffs or something like La Jolla.
Right.
Yeah. Did you have to Google a photo of San Diego before you even
because
made that?
I didn't know anything about San Diego before we moved. And Haley was she was about to accept a job offer in San Francisco. So I started painting this and drawing this when we were like gung-ho for San Francisco. And so in the background of that particular painting, I had to paint out the Golden Gate Bridge because it was that close to us living there. But yeah, and then I had to like look up what does San Diego Beach look like. So
were you happy with what you saw like when you got here?
Yeah, you never really know though, because if you Google like Cincinnati Beach, maybe it'll show you something cool that like on the perfect day, like what the Ohio River ideally looks like compared to like the swamp that it actually is. So
nice.
Yeah, it's working out so far.
Can you just give like a brief background like on what you do? Because I sort of know, but I feel like people listening might not know who you are or like what you do. So
I mostly don't even know what I do. Just kind of anything.
Like if somebody walked in and like you had to tell them like, hey man, like this is what I do, like, or woman, like this is what I do for a living.
Oh,
Even if it's a lot of things. Like, what are some of the things you do on a day-to-day?
I would just say Illustrator. But, I mean, what I do on the day-to-day is, like, illustration, concept art, storyboarding, and just that kind of realm. So it covers, like, a lot. A lot of what I do doesn't even involve color, just involves lines or, like, values. And that covers the storyboard side. But, you know, then we got these projects, you know, where you need concept art and like how things are going to look and feel and all that stuff in the final animation.
So you're sort of like painting a picture of like what the end result would look like, but it's like less risky because you can show them like not fully rendered out, basically, like an idea, like a almost like a wireframe in a sketch view. I guess.
Right. To help like the people who are doing the final work kind of all rally around one image and be like, this is how we want to make this thing feel.
Nice. How did you get involved with like illustration and concept art and all? Like, was it like a thing that you started doing as like a kid, or?
I wasn't smart enough to do anything else, so I just started drawing. Yeah, I mean, I almost went to music school actually, but I applied to Ohio University too late, and I like came crawling to CCAD, had my portfolio in a trash bag, and I was like, "Can you give me a scholarship?" Yeah, and they did, which was awesome. And, you know, just kind of started there. Well, I didn't start there. I mean, I've been drawing all my life, but...
Is there another school you would have gone to if you had the choice?
If I had to redo it now, I would go probably to Art Center.
Art Center?
Yeah.
Where's that?
California.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's where all the big studios pull from.
Yeah.
You know, they don't pull from some, you know, random school in Ohio. So, but we got a couple alumni that do some pretty awesome stuff, which is nice.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, I mean, overall, I'm happy with what I got at CCAD.
Would you ever say don't? Like, skip it?
Because
I know there's a lot of people debating that.
That's a good question. Yeah. And I've talked about this a lot, but never like this publicly. It all depends on how self-motivated you are. There are resources out there now that weren't out there in, 2009 when I was applying to schools. Okay. And you can get a better education from people who are doing exactly what you want to do for cheaper online. But the biggest thing about college, I was a crappy student when I graduated high school. I mean, I was like straight C student, except for art. Right. And I mean, like I went to college and like I was a commuter and I had to drive, 25 miles every morning to get to my 8 a.m. class. And that helped me the most, I think. Just like being punctual and like, at CCAD, it was if you were late to 3 classes, which was like, I think 15 minutes was like counted as a late arrival. If you were late to 3 classes, that counted as an absence. And if you get 3 absences, you fail the class automatically. So it's like...
So like that helped you like today with like the way that you sort of do like your freelance, like being punctual,
right?
And just kind of like on top
as
of
I
your
was
stuff.
15 minutes late to this podcast now, but yeah, I mean I'm always like super right. I'm always like super on time, and like I don't think I've ever been late on a deadline or anything like that. So like getting my schedule worked out and stuff is what college really helped me do.
I feel like also like. I mean, just from knowing you for however many months, like 4 or 5 months, and I'm sure Jamie would agree with this, like, you're super, I don't know, you're just a very nice guy. Like, you're very humble, and you're very, like, particular about certain things. Like, I guess, like, I don't really see you as the type to procrastinate really too much. And maybe you do in your own time, but I feel like you always present yourself very professionally and very, like, kind and generous. And I think that goes a long way with just being a creative, because there's people that are, like, really talented and good, but, like, if you don't have that sort of like charisma and just like, I don't know, like that personality that just shows that you're trusted, then who's going to want to work with you? You know what I mean? So I don't know. I see that in you. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah. You're definitely not going to get as far.
No.
If you're a dick.
Yeah. I mean, that's
just not a good person.
It's a big discussion in the arts community. Yeah. It's like, you can be so talented, but if you're like terrible to work with, you're not going to get any clients.
100%.
Well, how would you say like reputation like fits into like your, or just like rapport, how would that fit into like your workflow and just like the way that you kind of go about things in your life?
Yeah. I mean, having like a good rapport with a client is super important, obviously. I mean, they feel like I'm open to their ideas, and that if they want to, change something, they're not afraid to like talk to me about it, or like see what I think about it. Mm-hmm. And having that extend through the project, and after it finishes, a lot of what I get work from is word of mouth. So people who've worked with me will tell, they'll have buddies who have studios or whatever, and
referrals.
Work comes up over there, they're like, hey, we know this great guy.
That's awesome, man.
So yeah, super important.
What are you what are you working on right now that you're excited about, as far as like I'm sure there's like many things that...
Yeah, I just finished up a storyboard that I'm like really proud of, but it sucks doing that kind of thing, like storyboards, especially in concept art, because you can't like put it on your portfolio or your website until after that,
because you have to sign contracts and NDAs and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Right. So it's like,
you've got some storyboards on your site right now that we could look at, right?
Yeah, I've got a good amount of storyboards up on there.
Pull some up right now.
Mm-hmm. Some of the good ones, but always good storyboard work. Like trying to evolve that, because I didn't know what storyboards were until I graduated college. That was not ever a thing that I thought I was going to go into.
They never even said that was like part of that could be part of your career,
right? I heard about it, and I knew kind of what they were, but it wasn't until after I graduated. Brandon Ferris at Leap Frame was like, "Hey, what do you charge per board?" And I was like, "What are you talking about, dude? You're fucking nuts! I don't do anything like that." And he's like, "No, storyboards. You could totally do it. Like, I'll help you." So. Brandon Ferris over at Leap Frame and the guys at Foster and Flux kind of took me under their wing and like got me hooked on doing boards and stuff.
I've got some the Exxon Mobil ones pulled up right here.
Yeah,
those are pretty sweet.
Yeah, that was those are always like a challenge, like drawing cars and whatnot. As Jamie and I have to jump into something, but drawing lots of cars.
Yeah,
but It's fun to, I don't draw many cars outside of, that project. So it was fun to just like have that challenge and kind of like look at these every day,
When you're working on these storyboards,
mm-hmm.
like they look really beautiful right now. As like I'm looking, do you kind of like sketch out like in your notebook first to kind of like rough things out and then finalize in these little thumbnail spots?
Right.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. I start out everything with like a super quick like composition sketch. And that won't take me, it does take a while because you need to figure out, you just need to think, you're like creating something a lot of the time from nothing. And you're trying to get inside your client's head and figure out like, how do they want this shoot to come across? Because, you can have all these crazy like angles and stuff for each frame, but it's like if they don't want this like dynamic spot or whatever they're shooting, mm-hmm. It's not going to fly and you're just going to have to do it over. So I started everything out with like a super rough sketch, basically just shapes, and I send it to them and I kind of walk them through it, have everything labeled. I'm like, this is the composition for each frame. Once we get every composition approved, then I'll go in. And
saves you a lot of time to do it that way, right?
You would never want to start on the final without the client seeing, what they're going to get first.
Right. Yeah, I feel like in like my workflow, like I
mm-hmm.
try to at least show like rough sketches or like rough wireframes before I go in and design things and like flesh it out too much, because it can be a nightmare if you have to go back and revise all those things.
I had a professor in college who taught us a really great lesson, and it was before we started an illustration project. We would have to do like this thumbnailing phase, and everyone would get so mad because he would tell you like, by Monday or by Wednesday, whenever the class was, it would end up being like 2 days in between classes. He would say like, you need to have 500 thumbnail sketches. And
500?
Yeah, you would never get 500.
We had 20.
Yeah.
I remember 20 was like what we had to do.
No one would ever do 500, but he basically just said like, you need to get as many ideas down as you can, and like don't stop when you think you have it, because your first one is going to suck.
Yeah. And
your second one definitely isn't going to be it. And it's like, if you keep evolving and you keep trying, and if you do get to 500, it's like,
chances are it's going to be good
pretty
at that point.
good.
One of them is in there. Yeah,
Yeah.
one of them, one of the best ones is going to be in there somewhere. So it's like, that thumbnailing phase and that thinking phase is like really important.
That's a good point.
Mhm.
I mean, it's just like photography.
Oh yeah,
You
for
take
sure.
500 pictures, only
Right.
20 of them are good.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Yeah.
And it's not like a messy way to look. Like, I feel like people would be like, oh, well, you should be good at what you're doing. You should be able to like put something out right away.
Mhm.
But it's like, no, that's part of the creative process. And people,
Yeah.
I think, are skewed on what
That's
the creative process is.
definitely, it sounds like something someone who doesn't understand the creative process would say or would think about that. They think, I don't know, who's a famous painter? They think like that famous painter did that painting on their first try, and that there wasn't like a bunch of, like crumpled up canvases thrown in the corner, like on the trash can. So it's like, yeah, I mean,
They're
it's a
kinda like-
process.
or it's like you look at like a skate video or something.
Right.
Like, they landed it first try.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
they've been filming for like half a day for that.
Yeah.
You know,
And
Oh,
then
for
you
sure.
see all the outtakes of them like just bailing. And,
Oh
like,
my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
same thing.
How are you
Yeah.
still alive?
Yeah.
But
Well, it's kind of cool too. Is that reminds me of you've been actually showing your process a lot lately,
Mhm.
like on your Instagram and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like,
yeah, try to.
why'd you start doing that?
I just wanted to. Yeah. I mean, like a lot of people have been asking for a while for me to like put up the YouTube channel or put up a Twitch channel or like stream or something like that. And this is like my way of just like not doing that, but kind of doing it at the same time. Like I'm not confident enough to, stream my weird process on Twitch, but if I can like give some snapshot updates to like how something turned out or how it, came to be. I know.
So like,
We'll see.
so like this one,
Yeah.
this is that bathroom that you did,
Yeah.
and it's cool because you're showing off like the rough sketch that you did,
hmm
and then I'm guessing this is like the layer you put at the bottom in Photoshop,
Well,
or how do you do it? Like,
that's actually so that's an interesting thing. I recently started doing this like weird process. So that's I wouldn't even like call that the rough sketch. Like there's a sketch before that sketch that I won't show anyone.
mhm.
That's like awful, like terrible scribbles.
This is tighter then.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, slightly tighter, but it's not what I would consider a tight sketch either. But yeah, I mean, so what I've been doing recently is I'll take that sketch, throw it on a multiply layer, drop the opacity to 10% or 5%, and then I'll start going through with the polygonal lasso tool and going through and just blocking in the shapes that I want, and then I'll just get rid of that line layer after
Yeah.
I get all the shapes blocked in and like start doing the lighting and stuff.
It's so cool to see the evolution of what you did, and it looks
Yeah.
like you have two different styles of lighting here.
Yeah, two different. So I did like the bathroom during like evening or morning or whatever, and I was like, I do this a lot. Like, what can I do now? How can I take this one step further and showcase something that I haven't really done before? And I was like, I'll just get rid of all the like atmospheric lighting layers and go back down to those base colors, and I'll do it again, but
When you say atmospheric lighting, just for
Yeah.
people that don't know what that means.
sure. Yeah, kind of how like the warm sun like kind of comes through the window and stuff and is like kind of
The sun
soft
rays.
and just kind of like bouncing all over the place.
So you're turning those on their own layers on top of everything that you've made.
Yeah, those are all, it's not baked into the painting
Right.
or anything. It's not one layer, but you can flip them on and off and adjust them.
What does your file look like after like one of these is complete? Like
Mm.
how many layers you got going? Do you group a lot of stuff?
I'd group a lot of stuff. I would say it's just mostly clipping masks.
Yeah.
I mean, like, clipping masks are the best thing if you're not utilizing them. Like, I highly recommend.
I'm a fan
Looking
of
into 'em.
masks.
Yeah, for sure.
I think I've used like 2.
Clipping masks or
Yeah,
just
in college.
oh man, they're so good.
During Photoshop class.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Never again.
yeah, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
I guess you.
I don't know that realm.
We use them differently, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's mostly just clipping masks. I'm working on a board game cover right now too, and that file's getting like pretty big.
You're
I think-
working on a board game?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Mhm.
Tell me about this.
It was just a random inquiry from one of the profiles or one of the portfolio sites I have,
Nice.
kind of out and
Is
randomly.
it heavy like illustration?
hmm
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure that's still in the works, so we can't look at it right now, right?
Actually, I can probably show some stuff.
Okay.
Because I talked to him and he said that he was cool, like, promoting it as long as, people knew what it was and everything.
Is there
We'll
a way
just
I can
flash
get
it
to
on screen for like 1 second.
Yeah, we're flashing it.
One frame.
Now.
Right.
One frame.
No,
Oh, it's beautiful.
Right.
I can actually see it right now.
no, it's pretty cool so far. But yeah, we'll like, as soon as the Kickstarter link and everything goes up, we'll show that.
You won an Adobe Live challenge, I saw.
Yes.
Pretty recently.
Yes.
I got that pulled up right here too. Can you tell us a little bit about that? I just saw the finished product, so I didn't really know what the brief was or anything like that.
Oh, so the brief was an Illustrator, incorporating a quote into a piece of art.
So like Adobe does these events, or not events, but like these live streams on
Yes.
Behance.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
they were doing one of those.
Mhm.
You were watching, I'm guessing.
Right.
Like hundreds of people kind of tune in.
Uh-huh.
And so you tuned in, and
Yes.
then they gave a challenge.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I have friends that like, so Kathleen and Gus, they are, Gus is behind the camera. Kathleen interviews some of the people. So if you've watched a lot of them, you've probably seen Kathleen. But we went to CCAD together, and they work at Adobe now
Okay, cool.
and do the live stuff. So I was talking to them, and moving out is like super expensive, and like I was like looking at the Photoshop costs every month, and I was like, man, like I know they're write-offs, but like it would just be great if I didn't have to pay for this. And they were like, oh, like if you win a live challenge, like you get a year free. And I'm like,
Opportunity.
yeah, I'll
There
do
you
it.
go.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I just tuned in and busted a little illustration out and got
I
my
like how
year
it's like,
of,
oh, I busted out a little illustration, but like, look at this thing.
Yeah, I know.
It
It was like one of my favorite ones you've
after-
done.
oh,
Well, I mean,
nice,
I do love the outdoors, so like,
Yeah, that's true.
I would love to
Yeah, I mean,
print of
there's
that.
like a pretty strict time limit on it. I think.
Yeah, I
it's
think they're
probably
like before the stream is over, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like 45 minutes. Or
What's
so.
the quote on that?
It's a quote from
John Muir.
John Muir. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
From Muir Woods. I don't remember what
Yeah,
the quote was.
Muir
It was
Valley.
Yeah, it was too.
In every walk-in with nature, one receives far more than he seeks. John Muir.
Yeah.
I think we've all been kind of inspired by John Muir.
Mm-hmm.
I did that like coffee brand.
Yeah,
Muir
that's right.
Woods
Yeah.
Coffee.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah,
So
it
you got
was
a
a good
free
time.
year, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
And now.
What if you win another one? Do you get another
Stack 'em.
year?
Rollover.
You
Well, I'm
stack
not
'em up?
greedy, but no.
I mean, why not?
I mean, you're working for it, so it's like
right.
I feel like it's kind of cool, like for anybody listening, be like, hey, if you want a free year of Adobe, like work for it.
Oh yeah,
put
dude!
some awesome art out.
Please tune into the Adobe Live challenges.
We'll put a link.
Kathleen-
We'll put a link in the description for where. I mean, it's just like behance.com, but
Yeah, and say hi to Kathleen and Gus. Tell them that Danny sent you,
yeah, shout
and they'll
out.
be super happy. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's a cool story. Something else that I want to bring up that's
Okay.
pretty interesting. So there's this Twitch streamer named Dr. Disrespect. He's like huge,
Yeah.
and he's really funny. He's like he's got his whole persona. He wears like a mustache and like
Right.
a wig and glasses, and he's got this whole 80s style thing.
You're getting there.
Right.
Yeah, my
You could
stash,
almost
yeah.
be him.
Right.
I could
Oh,
almost
get a
be the
wig.
doc.
You
I
just
don't
need
know.
some sunglasses.
I need some like dad 80s style glasses.
Right.
No, but yeah, so he's a super talented like video gamer guy, and you guys actually turned me on to him because I didn't really know much about him, but
Oh yeah.
I've been playing like a little bit more like PUBG and
Mhm.
like Fortnite. You guys play Fortnite more than I do, but
Yeah.
Yeah, we play together all the time.
Yeah. We lose together all the time.
Yeah.
It's a young man's game.
Yeah.
it is your
Fortnite.
nice game.
You guys-
All the building is just so hard. I feel like
People
all
are
you little
nuts.
Kids out there too.
Right.
Good.
Yeah. Right. Just give us
Jamie
a
gets some
chance.
good kills though every once in a while, right? You've been
I
winning
gotta have a
squads
good
the other
team
day.
behind me.
You're getting there. Yeah. When he's not competing with his OS. So-
Yeah.
But so it seems like you do a lot of like fun, like kind of like that Adobe thing. You just
Yeah.
decided like, hey, I got some time. I want to do this because like you're passionate about it. So
Right.
you've spent some time just creating projects and concepts that you think are fun.
Mhm.
So I've seen a few of the ones you posted on Twitter, and one of them was like a Fortnite like AK-47.
Right.
Because I don't think they have them. Do they have them now?
No.
They have
Okay.
ours.
So you decided
That's
to make
close.
one as like a concept,
Mhm.
and that got like a lot of like attention online. It seemed like.
Yeah, I got some pretty good attention.
Is it on your Instagram? Oh, here it is.
Yeah, I have a process video of that one too on my Instagram stories, because that's
Okay.
when I started implementing a 3D base, and I'm like, I know my way around 3D software, so I blocked out a AK-47 kind of shape in Blender, which is a free software, and I kind of took a screenshot of that, and then I just started drawing over
on
it.
top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool. So it's like a model that you found online.
No, I made it.
Oh, you made the model?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I didn't like go into detail. If you
just
see
basic
it,
shapes.
Yeah, I mean it's like super duper like rough. Let's see if I can bring it up.
Yeah, what I like about it is that it's obviously an AK-47. Okay.
Right. So it's that.
Oh, man.
That's all it is. But that's all you need.
Wow.
It's just, you know.
The basic contours of the shape.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, it's a sketch, but in 3D. And, you know, I just wanted to make sure that I got that perspective, that kind of Fortnite perspective, right?
And it's like a little stubbier, kind of like,
yeah,
to give it that cartoony feel.
Right. Yeah, because Fortnite has a very distinct look.
Yeah, that definitely looks like it was created by Epic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's good.
That looks
that's
like
good.
it would be in the game.
It
for
does.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you posted this, and you posted on Twitter or Reddit, or what'd you do?
Probably both.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I usually post it everywhere.
And then it got kind of spread around, but you you didn't get like any credit, or did you, for this one?
Well, no, not really. I mean, I had heard like a lot of people on Reddit were telling me that a bunch of sites were like stealing it and stuff and saying that it was a leaked skin, which is really funny.
And I feel like when you're posting these without like a lot of expectation, it's like fun for you to do. So it's like a win-win. Like if it does get spread around, cool.
Yeah, I mean, like Epic and Fortnite. I mean, I've been following Fortnite. I was telling Jamie like since before it was a battle royale game.
Really?
So yeah, I mean, this was like a few years ago because it's been in development for a long time, and it was supposed to be like this mashup between like Call of Duty Zombies and I don't even know what else, like Minecraft almost,
Right.
where it's like you can build this stuff and then you have to protect it from hordes of zombies. But then the success of PUBG, like Epic recognized that and they implemented a battle royale mode,
They were ready to go. They could just do it so quick too.
and that just like took off like crazy.
Isn't it still in like beta, technically? Like it's not really.
Probably. I don't know if it's early access.
Early
Maybe it
access,
is early
yeah.
access.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I don't know. Nice.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
But-
that's the standard for these
Yeah.
days. Is like
Your early access is
man,
that good.
gets you out of trouble.
I think what's cool about this though is that like you're like an opportunist. Like you're not waiting for something to come around. Like you're just doing stuff because you want
Right.
to.
Yeah.
And I feel like people are like, oh, like you're really lucky or something. And it's like no, like you're putting in the work, and then the more that you do things like this, the more the chances are of something like getting like noticed. You know?
Right. Yeah. For sure.
Which something did get noticed that you made,
Yeah.
which is another concept.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Okay, cool. I'll pull that one up.
Okay.
Because this is a pretty cool, like to see that, like I think I saw it on your story. You posted like that
Yeah.
yeah. And I was like,
I was just
what?
calling out Doctor.
Yeah.
Like tagged him. Hopefully he would like
Old Doctor.
another person he might see like saying something about it.
So yeah, so back to Dr. Disrespect. So you made a, what would you call it? It's like a comb.
It's just a like
mustache
pickaxe concept. I don't know. I mean, it's not very good, and I just kind of busted it
Not
out.
very good.
I remember. Well, I can definitely push it further. I would like to push it further if I got the opportunity to, because this was basically, what was the date on that? I mean,
okay, so I pulled up this. So Dr. Disrespect retweeted your image here.
yes,
June 25th.
June 25th of this year. So that was the one this year. I forget.
Well,
when.
the retweet was on June 25th, so I don't know
Okay.
when you made
Oh,
it.
I didn't know he retweeted it.
He didn't retweet it. He downloaded it and then tweeted it from his account.
So he saved the JPEG to his
Oh wow,
desktop.
that's crappy.
That's why I kind of like tried to get in touch with him.
Okay, so Dr. Disrespect saw your concept, which was just something you did for fun.
Yes.
It looks a little rougher than the AK one,
Yeah,
but like
for
this
sure.
was something you did before.
Yeah, and I did this on the iPad. Yeah, March 29th.
Is this on the iPad?
Yeah, that's why I like kind of kept it a little bit looser and like.
But it looks cool. Like it looks
Yeah.
like that's the style that you're trying to go
So
for.
yeah, I mean it was a quick thing. I was like sitting, maybe it was like Easter, because I was at my mom's house and I just sat down and I had been like just getting into Dr. Disrespect a lot, and I was like, I've had this idea bouncing around my head for a little while. Like, let me just like do a quick sketch real quick. So I was sitting on my mom's couch, like stuffed from Easter food, and I, did this, and I put it out, and like it didn't get very much attention at all. I mean, I put it on Reddit, it got like,
well, like
that game was pretty small then.
Yeah.
Well, it was
growing. Yeah. But I also like, the internet's hit or miss. So it's like, it got like 3 upvotes on Reddit, and like,
right.
and most of the like comments were just like, you're an idiot.
And so like some context of like why you did this is because he uses like a combed like mustache or
yeah.
mustache.
He calls it the Ethiopian caterpillar tamer. Or no. He calls it the Ethiopian caterpillar is his mustache. And then the name of the pickaxe is the Ethiopian caterpillar tamer.
So the idea is like he would use that in the game to like mine things.
Yeah.
So materials.
Mm-hmm. And then 5 months later, out of nowhere, I'm like scrolling through Twitter, and I'm like, oh, that's weird that Twitter's like showing me a post that I posted like 5 months ago. Like, what's going on? And then I looked at the name that tweeted it, and I was like, shit, that's Dr. Disrespect. Yeah. I was like, oh no.
What were you thinking? Like,
at first I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like, Doc saw my thing. And I was like, oh, it has like, 10,000 likes, or didn't have 10,000 at the time.
It got 16,000 likes.
It had like 1,000 likes at the time. So I got in pretty early, and I was like, oh man, why are my notifications blowing up? Like, this is huge for me. Like, someone reputable saw my work.
Yeah.
And then I like looked through it, and I was like, oh, he didn't tag me. He didn't do anything. He didn't put my name up there. This is terrible.
Do you think somebody just sent it to him and like he didn't see that you tweeted it?
I give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. I mean, I
doubt he's searching like hashtags on Twitter.
Right. Yeah.
If you did hashtag that earlier.
Yeah.
And that dude has like 20,000, 30,000 people at a time that are like in his
streams. Yeah.
And I think he's got like a crazy amount of followers on
600K.
600K. So it's like, you want to think that he didn't
700 now
mean any ill will like by it.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I can't think that, because if I get hung up on this, like, it's gonna do more damage to me. Like, I'm gonna be hurting myself.
It's just badass that he likes it,
right?
He retweets, so it's like validation that what you're doing is right. And
hopefully,
good.
Yeah.
Oh, for
that
sure.
That he retweeted the bad one, but
also like what was cool about it is that a lot of people stood up for you. Because
a lot of people
did say something like, hey, like it'd be great to get a tag. Like you weren't like begging for it, but you're just like, hey, like I'm actually like so glad you like my work, but like, it'd be cool to get a tag or whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's fair to say. I
think.
You
can't just like jump someone and like start throwing accusations, because I don't know, what happened. So, I just try to keep it chill. Like, would it have been awesome to get a tag? Of course, but
dude, so many people were just like kind of like right there for you, like battling for you.
Yeah, it was great.
And I love that you showed the...
like you didn't do it. You're like, oh, wait, well, I'm drawing it right here in this video.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot I recorded that one. Yeah, well, Procreate, the app I use on the iPad, does an automatic time-lapse. So it's like,
that's so nice.
Don't have to do anything. It just records your strokes automatically. So I was like, oh, yeah, I did this in Procreate, like, stuffed from Easter, sitting on my mom's couch.
I wish like every app had that.
Right. Yeah.
I would love to see me go through a Premiere project or.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
A lot of things I do on the computer.
Does it store it locally or does it store it like
it's local?
Cloud? It is? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just have to export it, and it just renders the video file, saves it to your videos, and then usually I take it, throw it in iMovie on the iPad, speed it up, and then so I can get it down to 30 seconds. And then I put it on Instagram or something.
I mean, I guess it's just cool that like you made this thing because you wanted to for funsies, and then the best thing that could have happened, but then it didn't. Like,
right.
You know what I mean?
Second best thing.
Yeah.
So,
but I like that your attitude is very just like humble and cool, and like, you know what, like it would have been cool to get more recognition, but whatever. You know what I mean? Just water off the back.
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna like post on Twitter like Dr. Disrespect like steals art from like upcoming artists.
Isn't that weird?
Should have known.
If anybody would do it, it would be the Doc.
Yeah.
You know?
No.
Maybe that's his thing. He lives
right. It's his brand.
To the T of it. He's disrespectful of everything.
Right. No.
Goes out to restaurants.
That's right.
Disrespectful to the servers.
Only tips 10%.
What
Even though he's got multi-billion-dollar contracts,
Yeah,
they just don't pay him enough though.
would you make another like concept for Disrespect?
Yeah, but I'd watermark it this time.
Watermark the crap
Just
out of it.
right across.
I would say most things, like if you're gonna
Yeah.
put it out, like that probably is a good idea.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like I mean, something that you really care about
Mhm.
that might get seen.
Yeah, I mean, and I've thought about it a lot. But watermarking, it's like you can put it off to the edge or whatever, but it'll just get cropped out like by whoever wants to steal it.
And you don't want to put it right in the middle.
And if you put it right across, it's like, that's not why I painted this. Like I painted this because I want people to enjoy
That's true.
it the way that I want it to be enjoyed. So it's like, people are going to steal, and that just sucks a lot.
I don't know
That's the
how
reality.
you get around that. I mean, I guess you just gotta hope
Yeah.
that no one's gonna take your
Yeah.
stuff.
I mean, I just like keep making, hopefully high quality stuff, and one day it'll work out.
I mean, it's already seeming to work out that you're getting like reposted and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
I think that hopefully just the next person that does what Doc did doesn't, or at least gives you credit,
Right. Yeah.
And Doc, we love you if you're watching.
Yeah.
We know you probably didn't mean any harm. I want to ask you.
But if you want to come on and debate
Right.
it,
yeah, let's
we'll
chat
have
about
you.
it.
Yeah.
I think he lives in like Chicago.
No, he's in LA.
He still lives in, like,
or San Francisco.
Frisco?
We'll fly you down.
No,
Worry
we're
about
not flying you. You can fly down on your own time.
Get your flappy gums over here, Doc.
Yeah.
What? Okay, here's a question that I have because
Right.
I'm curious for both you guys.
Yeah.
What is your favorite time of day to create? Some people like the middle of the night.
Yeah,
Some people like
I
really
mean,
early. Does it really matter?
It sucks, but it's at night.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, my girlfriend gets up like super early for work now. And like we try to be on the same schedule because it's not great. Like, if I'm up till 1 or 2 in the morning and she has to get up at, 5:30 or 6, it's like, then those are a few hours that, she's in bed before I go to bed, or like she wakes up before I wake up. So it's like, having those few hours would be better together. But yeah, I mean, like, especially back in Cincinnati, it's been definitely an adjustment here. Because there's no rain. And some of my favorite like painting memories are just like in Cincinnati, had my, home studio and in a whole room by myself. I didn't appreciate that, that I had like a whole room, and now my studio is in our living room. And I mean, it was raining outside. I got the window cracked. I got a candle lit. I got, some warm lighting in the background,
Vibes.
and I'm just like going to town on a painting.
Yeah, rain was really nice to work in for sure.
I feel
You
like
knew like no one's doing anything outside.
Yeah,
Like
I mean, the streets were empty.
Yeah.
It's just like,
it's
yeah.
super nice.
I feel like environment is like really important when you're like a creator. You know, you have to have like I like to turn a certain light on. I like to have a little bit of like the right music. I like to have like either like a coffee or water, sometimes like a beer or something. And like, it's just like, if you don't have the things that are set up in a certain way to kind of like, at least like get you in that creative mindset, then your work is going to suffer,
Yeah. And I mean, I'm not a diva about it or anything. I've like painted in like crappy situations before, especially out here. I mean, like we moved out here and we're like, okay, like, studio's in the living room now. Like that's an adjustment, but we're going to get through this and, it's going to be okay. And then like the wall behind me starts like vibrating from our neighbor's bass. It's like,
he's playing like, who let the dogs out?
I'm just like, no, he was playing show tunes for a while.
European techno.
I was like, fuck, man. Like now I have to wear headphones all day.
Yeah.
So I like have my headphones like.
Yeah, I guess you could get kind of immersed in that workflow if you have headphones on.
Yeah, I usually just have
I
a
like
movie on.
headphones.
I can't really have like the 2-monitor setup because I used to have my Cintiq over here and my main monitor over here, and like, and then I had a TV here and in my old studio. So it's like can't really do that anymore. Luckily, Windows like has a split screen function where I can watch a movie on this side of the computer now and have my reference and email up on the other side, and then I just work on my Cintiq down in front of me.
That's something that I noticed too. Like, is like, I feel like as like designers or creators or even editors, like having something going on the side is important. Like, I like to listen to a podcast or like watch a Twitch stream or listen to a movie or some music, and then also create. Because I don't know what it does, but like it kind of helps you like get at ease.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's like
the rain,
right? Exactly. I mean, it's almost like starting in a new sketchbook. It's like you don't want to start in a new sketchbook. You're gonna mess it up if you do crappy drawing on that first page, and then the rest of the sketchbook is gonna be tainted. But it's like if you got, if you're working like halfway through a crappy sketchbook, that means nothing. Right. It's like easier to kind of get started. But if you're like silent in your head, you kind of get inside your head and you're like thinking too much. But if you got some background going, you got some other thoughts, kind of floating. Yeah, it just kind of like takes the edge off. I watch a movie. I rewatch a lot of movies that I haven't seen in a long time, or
fair enough.
I watch movies that don't have good plots. Like I like like yeah, dude, it's pretty bad.
It's funny.
But so you just want noise, is what you're saying.
Well, I like horror movies actually. I watch a horror movie. I watch at least one a day.
And, wow.
Yeah, I watch a lot. But it's like
that's so funny because like your work is not that.
It's
like,
not
it's
at
complete.
all.
So maybe it's like a balance that you're getting.
Yeah, I rewatch a lot of them too. But that's why I mean, I kind of have the problem. I have like every subscription service like possible, and like I update like the list of horror movies that are on there, and I'm like, oh, horror movies coming out on Netflix this day, on Hulu this day.
Danny's listening to like Amityville Horror and like people getting stabbed, and he's drawing like a unicorn.
Yeah,
you're like,
some real pretty scene.
Yeah, Amityville Horror is a good one to paint to. Never
it's
watched
so
Psycho though during work, but
so people like on my channel always ask like, how do you get freelance clients? Like, how do you get work? Like, how do you like? So what would you say to that? Like, because I mean, obviously, like you're getting a lot of like referrals and stuff, but like what would be like your response?
If I was starting out all over again, I mean, I think Jamie this, maybe you too. When I moved to Cincinnati, I was just out of college. I mean, like literally just graduated. I did not know anybody in Cincinnati, did not know any of the companies. And what I did was I made this little illustration that was like an announcement, kind of like the rabbit one, but way worse because it was 2014. And I got it printed, and I printed out resumes too, and I redesigned my resume and everything. And I put those two things together, and I mailed them to like 50 studios.
Wow.
In Cincinnati.
Oh yeah.
And I heard back from one.
Wow.
And that one was
willing to work with you.
One of my best clients, Foster and Flux. So yep.
Very good.
That's a great. So it's like a blanket, like kind of like advertisement in a way.
Yeah, and I mean you can send emails all day, and whether or not that person that you send it to sees them, or if you haven't gotten lost in the digital like kind of chaotic mess of an art director's inbox, you can take that chance too. I mean, I've gotten jobs like that, but like sending something tangible and making someone feel guilty if they want to throw it away, like
that's an interesting tactic.
You're in, man. You get it printed on nice paper with your information clearly laid out, and they're gonna be like, oh, this fucking piece of paper costs $5. Like, I don't want to throw it away now. Like, maybe the art sucks, maybe it doesn't, but like, they have your name in their head now.
I think that's just the way you got to do it. You got to like not be like people are gonna say no to you no matter what. Like that's just a thing. And, like, you can't beat yourself up over it. You kind of just got to know that that's just a thing that's gonna happen.
And I still have. I mean, I have a folder in my email inbox, and it's all of my rejection letters. From Disney, from Pixar, from Blizzard, from even Epic now, and I mean there's hundreds of them, because I whenever a job comes up, I'm like, oh, send in my information again. Like, what's it gonna hurt? Yeah. And I get a rejection email from most of them, and I just have those.
You should keep all those, and then like
that's what I do
when you blow up, which you will, because Danny's freaking awesome. I want you to print them all out and just put the rejection letters up on your office wall.
Awesome.
I mean, but that's why I have them, is because hopefully someday, I get a job at a good studio.
Oh, dude.
But
you're going to own your own studio.
We'll see. I don't know if I want to do that. It's so much work. But
yeah,
hopefully, I just
want to
right.
have production coming out. Like, I just
Dude,
want to work for people.
That's right. I just want to draw, man. I don't want to like. I have enough problems like doing my own taxes as a freelancer every
You almost
year.
become like a manager. You like step out of what you like to do.
Right.
You end up like managing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but I
yeah.
I mean, I
know what you mean though.
Yeah, I mean,
for sure,
it's different for everybody. You know what I mean, like I love to create. I always want to be creating, but I also do want to have my own, my own company. Which is why I'm freelancing a lot more, because I want to be my own boss,
Right.
So I think that's more what I probably would like
absolutely.
to do.
Right.
Yeah. Nothing better.
Right. I mean, when you get work coming in, when you're like going through a dry spell, you're like, what am I the boss of?
You're not the boss of me now.
Right.
Like 4 months ago.
Yeah. We're getting there. It's slowly starting to ramp up.
That's like
so we're going. And I mean, it's always hard. There's a couple people in Columbus when I moved to Cincinnati that were like, oh yeah, like I worked with this guy who moved down to Cincinnati, like hit him up. No one works with anyone who lives in San Diego. And I mean, that's like, I didn't even know Jamie in Cincinnati. Yeah. Jamie and I never hung out in Cincinnati. And like when I moved to San Diego, I was like, right. I was like, oh, Jamie lives here. Like I've seen his work around. Like he may know some things. Let's hang out.
Yeah.
And he knew a lot.
He knew
so much.
It's just a little nugget of knowledge.
Hey, Danny, so where can people visit like your information or social media and stuff like that? Like what are some of the things?
I think Instagram is just Danny Dufford. My website is dannydufford.com.
DANNY. DUFFORD.
DUFFORD. 2 F's.
Danny Dufford. We'll put links in the description. Thanks for watching, guys. We should be doing one of these pretty soon. I think we'll have another awesome artist or designer on soon. Leave some comments. Let us know what you think about this format. I know we haven't posted in a while, but we'll be posting more. So later.
See ya.